If you don't. Welcome to Double Fries No Slaw. It is Wednesday evening. We're back for another pop-up episode, and we are joined by none other than the British boys. Real names, Max McCusker, am I saying that right? And Sam Budd of FSU swimming and diving team, TJ Pinger and Richie Barnes. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you guys for coming on. Your lighting is fantastic. I just want to let you know you guys look great.
Thank you.
We're excited for you guys to be here for sure.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the professional setup. There's a lot of time getting our Pixar lighting, but we're pleased.
We love to hear. So we talked a little bit about this off air. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I'm going to put you guys on the spot. One of you has had Double Fries No Slaw, obviously a reference to Guthrie's there. One of you has had Guthrie's, one of you hasn't. We just need to talk about this for just a minute. I don't mean to make anybody feel bad, but let's talk about what you've gotten from Guthrie's, what you like, what you don't like, and then why you haven't had any, Sam.
I've had Guthrie's, but Sam hasn't had Guthrie's.
Okay.
I will take Sam to get some Guthrie's, but honestly, I'm pretty basic with it. Like I'll just get like some chicken tenders normally, but I like the fries are like got like those little lines in them. You know, is that right?
The crinkle cut. Yeah.
I like that. And then it's a sauce like orange.
Yeah.
It's gut sauce.
Yeah, the sauce is fire as well.
Do you get so Double Fries No Slaw? You get double fries, right? Or do you get the coleslaw? Or like we might have to judge you a little bit too.
I mean, I'll sometimes just eat coleslaw straight out of the thing.
All right, but
really?
You ever had coleslaw on pizza? Ham and pineapple pizza with coleslaw.
Never had that.
What?
Wait! Oh my goodness!
Wild. Okay,
what's going on here?
Yeah. All right, cut this, Richie. How do you cut this off? That is hilarious. Is that a thing? You guys are both
coleslaw on pizza?
I mean, I do. I don't. You don't. Maybe it's
I've legitimately never heard of that in my entire life, but that's wild.
England, though, so.
Yeah.
My wife will put anything on pizza, but I don't know about coleslaw. But I don't know. Now I'm very intrigued.
I'm not trying it. Okay, so I'm not anti coleslaw by any means, but when I go to a fast food chicken tender place, like I just think the fries are better, so that's why I get double fries there.
Oh, is it fries or the coleslaw?
Yeah, you can get double fries instead of the coleslaw. That's why I do that.
Now I get it. Now I get the name.
Yeah, Double Fries No Slaw. Yeah, it came full circle. So you got we mentioned this. I want to talk to you guys, but we'll talk a little bit about swimming and diving too in just a minute. But you guys aren't from here. You want to tell the people where you're from? If they couldn't tell by your accents.
We'll go best first. So I'm from England. I'm from Sheffield, which is in the north of England.
Okay.
Some people would say it's the better place. I mean, most people would, right? But Max,
I'm from London, but I moved down south. So Sam gives me a bit of a hard time because the South are a bit of the softer people, the more friendly people, I would say. But Sam's from the North, I'm from the South. So yeah, we're both from England. But I guess we're both here and we're friends now.
So you real quick, TJ, because I alluded to this a little bit off air, but you guys are both from England. Did you know each other before you came to Florida State? Because I heard you guys talking that you guys were potentially arch nemesis for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Sam likes to say arch nemesis. I honestly didn't really know who he was that much.
What is that? I didn't even know him. All right, and look at Richie with like arch nemesis, like this is a Marvel movie. Like you're like
TJ, when you dropped off for like 20 seconds before we started, they were talking about that.
Long story short, you got the North, top tier, and you got the South, questionable. So anyway, Max was in the questionable region, and we kind of just used to compete. Like I think you're the age group below, right?
Yeah.
So I was 1 year above, but some of the age group years you have like dual banded, so it's like 17 and 18 1 year, and then it's like a 16-year age group. So pretty much like one of the years we just raced down there, and we were in the same categories. And one of my best friends was his best friend, so it was like a mutual thing. Like I knew him, I'd seen him around a couple of times, and like we talked, but it was never like a long talk or anything. We just knew each other, sort of thing. And
we knew each other to say hi, really.
Yeah.
That'd be about it. Just through mutual friends. I'm a bit younger, obviously, so
yeah, I've got the experience and
I've got the youth.
That's me and TJ. We just say hi. We're not really friends. We just do this podcast a couple times a week. So
I mean, I won't be friends with TJ if he doesn't have slaw on pizza either. So he's not even going to try on pizza either.
Can you guys still hear me? I don't know if
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So I have a question just on being in England and stuff like that. Like, people crack on us in the South for like eating poorly. Do you guys get offended when like they, like different foods that like are native to your country, like people like crack on them on Twitter and stuff like that? And be like, what is wrong with these? Like, why are they eating beans on toast and covered in this other stuff? Like, when the stuff goes viral, like we were talking about food. So like, sorry, we'll do sports in a minute, but like food's really like what our passion is. So I just need to know, like, do you get offended by that? Or you like, what are your thoughts?
So first thing that pops into my brain is the Rate My Meal deal. Yeah. You know them pages. But it kind of reminds me of that. Anyway, it's like this page that everyone posts on. And people get like the wackiest stuff. So like you have a selection of stuff for a meal deal, and like you just put it on this page, and everyone just roasts you. So like if you get something horrible, like, I don't know, coleslaw on pizza, right? You'd get absolutely. So
I don't think people like write too hard on English food. I mean, like, I don't think English food's the best food. I think we absolutely destroy everyone at breakfast. But
a proper English breakfast is phenomenal.
A full English breakfast. I think like that slaps.
All right, we're gonna say on three.
We need to get sponsored.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, we can't be plugging places.
Yeah. Okay.
So
just English breakfast.
Full English breakfast, and then I like a Sunday roast dinner, which I guess is similar to like a Christmas dinner-ish, but we just have it every Sunday maybe. Like, that goes pretty hard. But then I think the food in America is probably, a bit better.
I mean, I definitely would say it's a lot better in America. The fast food and stuff out here is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so good. Like, my first semester, I honestly can't remember, like, not eating out. I think I ate out a lot first semester.
I do eat out too much.
So in my bubble theory is just America. We're just such a melting pot. We have so many different foods and authentic foods in this country. Even in Tallahassee, like a small town in Podunk, Florida, right? You can get pretty much any kind of food you want, and it'll be pretty good. So it's not like that in England, I'm guessing, to where you can't just go out and get Mexican or Italian or like a burger or wings, whatever it may be, because here you can get anything you want anywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit. You could, but it's a drive. So like, it's not like you walk there. Like, you could walk here. Like, I walk out here, it's a 2-minute walk, and you have like Gordos and everything on the side. Like, you can get whatever you want. But back home, it's definitely like a 10-minute drive. Like, if I wanted to get Mexican back home, I have to drive at least 15 minutes to the other side of the city.
Yeah. I love Chinese. So
the one thing they don't have is kebab shops.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Kebab houses.
We're thinking, should we?
Yeah.
So we're thinking, on the strip, we open up a kebab shop.
Yeah.
You should take that home and open one up.
Yeah. Because everyone, well,
let's run.
Cool. Let's all four do that. Let's all four.
This is a business venture.
I like it.
I like the idea of Sam and Max opening it on the strip and then sponsoring this podcast, and then we could just talk about it every week, right? All your new food and everything.
Talk about coleslaw again.
This is
perfect.
This is some business moves.
Take this off air so that we can talk about it and not get our idea stolen. Watch that pop up next week when I'm in Tallahassee. Talk to us about. You guys can go around the horn here, but we'll jump into some Florida State stuff and some athletics now that we talked about food for 10 minutes. But talk to us about your decision to come to Florida State and how you ended up here, your journey, your path in your career so far. Whoever wants to go first can go first.
You came first. So.
Yeah, so I came in 2018 as like an 18, 19-year-old as a freshman. I was going to quit swimming. Didn't really have a lot of options in the UK. Carry on swimming. Wasn't really too interested in going the conventional UK route. So I got an email from the head coach here maybe in May. Came out on a trip in a couple of weeks later, and then came fully in June for summer semester. So mine was pretty quick. It was sort of a last attempt at swimming, and it worked out pretty well for the past 4 years. I've enjoyed it here. So pretty different to Sam's story, but yeah, kind of a last minute thing, but couldn't have picked a better place, to be honest, for 4 years. So,
I mean, mine's honestly pretty similar. Apart from I just did my undergraduate degree back home. So I did 3 years back home. Took a gap year, focused on swimming. Unfortunately, that year was COVID, so I didn't go too well. And then I also kind of fell off a roof 3 stories and dislocated my elbow, broke my wrist. And that's another story. So that was like a long time coming back. So then pretty much after that, I sort of fell out of love with swimming a bit. Because I mean, back home, it's always rainy, it's cold. Like the mornings are so much harder. And I just had to chat with my coach, and he was like, I think you should look at America, because a lot of people are going over there. Like, we've seen a lot of success from British swimmers now. Like, you've got like people like Anna Hopkins and Alicia Wilson, who are like absolutely tearing it up out in America. So he said, maybe have a look at that. I messaged some people on this team who are British as well. So there's a girl, Phoebe Griffiths, Pia Murray, and Big Daddy Cheesecake, Max McCusker.
Big Daddy Cheesecake. Is that the nickname? Let's go.
But yeah, pretty
like
much.
That.
I messaged them, got in touch with the coaches, and then within like a month and a half of stress trying to get my visa and everything, I ended up coming out. And honestly, I haven't looked back since. Like, I've enjoyed swimming so much. It's like a newfound love for the sport, and it just showed me really like how much we take for granted what it is, and how lucky we are. So I'm really thankful to be here. So yeah.
Yeah, so Sam, this one's for you, because you were in a unique situation, as you stated. You took a gap year, so you're basically a one and done, right, when it comes to college swimming in America. And did you get to visit Florida State's campus before you committed to swimming here? And if not, what was it that stood out about Florida State compared to the other schools that really wanted you? Because obviously you're a very talented swimmer.
Yeah, so I probably should have mentioned that, but this is my 1 year of eligibility. I could have had 2 years at Division 2 or 1 year at Division 1. And I spoke to a couple of schools. I spoke to Florida State. I messaged a couple of schools in California. And I was really close to signing at Drury University, because they've got a great swim program for a Division 2 team. But honestly, I figured it would be sort of similar to back home in terms of it's an indoor pool. The weather's not as good as it is down in Florida. And I did know 2 people on the team as well that were British, but there was like 4 or 5 people here that I knew, and I spoke to Max, and we were going to live together and stuff, which didn't end up happening. But anyway, long story short, yeah, the coaches and everyone, I just really loved it here. And just a quick Google search, and it's like Florida State. Why wouldn't you? And I came here, and I was like even like more blown by it. Like, it was like better than I imagined. So I was kind of lucky. It might have been a bit stupid not looking at the place, but I didn't really have the time, in fairness. So it was one of those things. It was like, right, I either stay back home and sulk for a bit, or I come out here and best thing I ever did.
And Max, same to you. Did you visit Florida State first, or what was it that stood out that made you want to say, Tallahassee, Florida, that's where I want to go of all the places in America from England?
Yeah, well, I didn't get a lot of interest coming out of high school. I wasn't as fast as matey boy over here, so he got a lot more interest in me coming out of high school. But I came out on a trip with my dad, and it was like maybe a 3-day trip. And I remember getting here, like you go on a campus tour with the coaches. They take you around the pool, the campus, and like I honestly thought like it was like a bit of a joke. Like all the facilities here are just like they're ridiculous. They're better than the top facilities in like the national teams in the UK have. So I honestly feel like the facilities here and the staff and the training you get is almost, you're treated as if you're like a Olympic gold medalist athlete. That's the way I always describe it. Like you're put up here when like sometimes you think you're a pretty average swimmer. You get treated like you're you get put on a bit of a pedestal, like you're like an Olympic gold medalist sort of thing. So I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that I want to be here.
Have you guys connected? So Vic Allen, I was actually just over by the Morecom the other day. I went to a tennis match at the indoor facility. Vic Allen is from across the pond as well. Do you guys meet? And she plays on the women's tennis team. I was actually just talking with Coach Hyde the other day. But do you guys meet with some of the other international students on different teams? I know you're busy, and so like I don't expect you to know every single person everywhere. But do you try and meet with the people that are from your native where you're from?
Yeah, we see some of them around, I guess, on campus or wherever. Like we meet up with different athletes and stuff, and we know I knew a couple of the English tennis boys. There's a couple of boys on the tennis team, Marcus and Barney. Yeah, Barney's on the tennis team. So no, it is nice. It is nice when you meet other people from where you're from, and I guess it's
kind of like common ground, isn't it? I mean, we're all in the same sort of boat. Like, I mean, Max has been here 4 years, but I know, like, for a fact, when I first came here and I didn't really know many people, the first thing I was going to look for was obviously someone international that's in the same sort of boat. And I think, I mean, everyone on the team was friendly, like whether they're international or American, like everyone like super cool, but it's just easier to talk to someone who's in the same sort of boat. Do you know what I mean? So you tend to meet a lot of the people and they're all just like everyone, honestly, everyone who's an athlete on FSU is just pretty chill. So
We've had Coach Proctor on here, and he was a riot and absolutely hilarious. Then he was sending me pictures from when he was over in Tokyo as well. You guys, something that you can share that won't get all of us in trouble. But do you have any funny Coach Proctor stories you can tell that again won't get us in trouble?
I mean, recently he's just absolutely blown his thumb out. He smacked his thumb with a hammer, and literally the whole side of his thumb blown out. And, I walked up to training, and one of the divers goes, "Have you seen John's thumb?" And he goes, sticks his thumb, got loads of bandages around it, and I was like, "Let's see the picture then." And he's literally like exploded his thumb. I can't even. You have to get the picture of him. But yeah, John's hilarious.
I normally just have like day-to-day interactions with John, nothing too crazy. Just I'll say, "You're right, John." He'll go, "Oh, hello," like in English.
I could see him doing that. Yeah,
that's my daily interaction with John. But sometimes we'll get into him, we'll talk politics and stuff. But I don't know. Sometimes it's a bit funny.
I mean, I secretly think he wants to come down to the pub with us too.
John?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe afterwards.
Have a few pints after college.
Maybe afterwards.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
We were trying to get Richie to go off the high dive when we came up.
Not happening. Not happening.
Maybe we can get him to do a lap or two, though. Maybe we could get him. We get you to do a lap or two, though, against these guys. That's not as scary. We're not going to win.
I mean, can I start on the other end of the pool and I do a half a lap while they have to do a whole lap? Because that's the only way I think I'd have a chance.
We can do that.
I'm down there. We can do like a relay.
Get it set up. We get Krista to figure it out.
Yeah. Speaking on relays, all right, that's something that has been a highlight of our team's competition. We've had some things canceled due to sickness and COVID and things like that. But talk a little bit about the competition that you guys have been in this year. ACC's coming up. You know, understand the ACC is super competitive for those that don't know or maybe aren't aware. But talk to us about the relays and, you know, kind of some of you guys' different competitions and talk us through some of that.
You want to go through drill meet season?
Yeah. So my first season here, obviously, drill meets is something completely new to me. Pretty much just a point system, school versus school. Whoever gets the most points wins. Obviously, the higher you place in your race, the more points you get, sort of thing.
Sure.
And honestly, coolest thing ever. Like, literally makes swim events so cool. I mean, for me, it does. I don't know about other people, but I find it so cool. But yeah, we've had some good teams. We went up against Auburn.
We beat them by 1 point.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
We beat Georgia Tech by 1 point, I think it was, which is like the difference in that is probably a hundredth or a tenth of a second in the whole meet.
But John's divers came in clutch there. They helped like secure the win.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's just so good for racing. Like, we raced way more out in America than I ever did back home. Like, there was one part of the season where we did like pretty much 2 months back to back every single weekend racing another team, which is just so good in terms of like getting used to the race preparation and stuff. So like when you step up, when you're feeling way better and rested and stuff, it's just like boom sort of thing. And I just love them. I think they're so good. But we had our last one against Tampa, which was our senior day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad day. But a very fun day as well, actually. But that was really cool, and that was a nice way to sort of end off the dual meet season.
Go on.
Go ahead. I don't know if you had something to add.
I was going to say something on ACCs now. It's like you do all of those meets building up to the ACC championships. You got 5 days, different races every day. This year is the first year that it's going to be men and women's together. So I don't even know how many people are going to be on poolside. It's at the Olympic pool in Atlanta. So it'll be a pretty big big competition. It'll probably be the biggest competition I've ever been in. But so spectators this year, no COVID. But ACCs normally is just men's, and then women's are the week before. And you stand on the block on a relay if you're, I don't know, if you're going second, third, or fourth on the relay, and it's just like a ringing in your ears. You can't hear anything. It's just screaming. I can't even. It's hard to explain, but like the noise in there is just ridiculous. So it's like we've got that in what is it? A week now?
Yeah,
about a week.
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're just resting now and getting ready for that and trying to chill out, I would say.
How does that excitement? So I want to ask this, and then I'm going to pass to Richie. But I'm not just going to assume. But are you guys big? I mean, you call it football there. But you big soccer fans? Like who are your clubs you support, or do you not care over there, or what?
Big football fans.
I'm Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
The worst team in Britain.
Well,
I mean, I'm Chef Wednesday.
you can't say much if you're from Sheffield.
Yeah, I'm Sheffield Wednesday.
He's not even in the top league, and he's
Right. I was going to say we can
Get
all
relegated
laugh at
year
Arsenal,
after year, right?
Yeah, we can laugh at Arsenal, but if you're not in the top league, it's hard to.
like, what are you on about?
I think I'd rather be in Division 3 than Arsenal.
Yeah, you will.
Just know where your expectations are. You're never upset, right?
Ever since Thierry Henry left, downhill,
It's
mate.
not gone downhill.
But okay, so how does so I'm sure you guys have been to matches. I actually went to a match in Barcelona a couple of years ago, just absolutely insane. But like, how does that intensity, that pressure that you feel when you beat Georgia Tech by 1 point, or when it's super close, like down the wire, how does that compare? Like when you're actually competing versus when you're watching a massive Arsenal game, or when you go to a big football game, like at FSU, like how do they all because you're actually involved in it, right? Like you're the one the pressure's all on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty selfish. Like, if I'm not competing, I'm not too interested. I mean, I'm interested and I want to win, but I mean, if I'm in it, I like it a lot more, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't get too stressed out when Arsenal playing. If there's like a big boxing match, or like if McGregor's fighting or something, I'll sit behind the sofa and I can't watch it properly.
Same.
But
Yes.
besides from that, like I don't know, when you're racing, it's different. Like if I were to watch like a fight like that, or I guess a football game, I get more nervous. When you're racing, it's like you have like a weird calm feeling, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's complete. I don't even know how to say it. Like when you're watching football or like a big sport, like my family's more of a rugby family, in fairness. Classic, right? But it's just like watching it is fun, and I do get on the edge of my seat. But when I'm actually competing myself, it's more of a focus. Like I sit there and I'm just completely like, right, this is what I've got to do. This is what I want to do, and it's more of a just in the zone. Like you're there, you want to get the best out of it, and it's just cool, honestly.
I get more nervous if he's racing or if one of my teammates is racing, to be honest.
Because you know what's going through their head. Whereas like you know what you can control, you know what you can do. Whereas like if I'm watching Max or something, I'm like, right, whatever you do, don't slip on the start, don't go early, don't get the relay take over wrong, sort of thing. But like in actual fact, touch wood. He's done that so many times. Like he's touch wood, he won't do it. But you know what I mean? It's just because it's my sport, I know what could go wrong or what could happen. Whereas if it's like I'm watching on TV, I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but it's not like that.
And we cover all Florida State sports on this podcast. And, it's a good question. Like, how tough is it knowing you can give your best, but you still need your teammates to perform at their peak level for you guys to win as a team? You had John Pock from Florida State's men's golf, who's based on his accolades, the best golfer ever in Florida State history. And then different players, TG and I went to the Sweet 16 tennis match for women's tennis with Coach Hyde last year. A lot of fun, but how difficult is that knowing you could have the best day of your life, but your team might still lose? Because that's got to be like a little bittersweet.
Yeah. It's so when we go to ACCs, normally we'll come about fifth. We'll always be in the top five, where we come fourth, fifth, like around that position. But the thing is with us is you just want all of your swimmers to swim the best that they can, sort of thing. I don't expect certain swimmers to go and win the A final or win the B final, but if they're doing what they should be doing as a teammate to get as many points as they can in their own respected races, then they're doing like everything they can. And we don't expect to be winning ACCs this year, but it's all about progression. If like we can get more points than we did last year, if everyone's stepping up and hitting their PBs, that's sort of like the goals that we've got right now. Obviously, if you're in a relay, I'm in some of the relays, we've got 4 boys in a relay, then all 4 of us are going to get on each other and say, no, we've got to win this. But for when you got a 24-person men team and a 24-person women team, you're not going to get everyone who's going to win their races, but it's all about just getting everyone to do the best like they can do for the team, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd pretty much agree with that. Apart from the fact, I would say like we're pretty much a big family. Like we always train together, we all suffer together. You know, it's a lot of hard work, but it's annoying when you see someone who doesn't swim as well as they can, because you know how good they are and how much they put in. And like obviously it's upsetting, like because you want them to swim faster, but it's more frustrating because you've seen them like day in, day out, you know how hardworking they are, sort of thing, and how much they deserve it. And just to see them do like one little thing wrong that makes a massive impact, it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, what if? And you know, every year it gets better. Everyone gets better every year. So it's more about that progression thing. And it's just nice to see everyone doing better and getting there. And it, like the first day we've got the relay, and like it's going to be one of our best. Is your relay's first day, right?
8-3.
The 8-3 relay, which is still a strong relay, but I just love seeing relays to like start it off. It gets me so pumped. I'm like, I can't wait for that to be me, because I do the longer distance races, so I don't get any of the fun. I just get the long races.
I love relays. Like when I'm watching the Olympics or stuff. Yeah, that's just phenomenal. TJ, go ahead, man.
Yeah. What's you know, I know we've got the ACCs, and then, you know, I've seen that Chris was telling me that a couple of things were already qualified for the NCAAs in it, but like, what does the future hold for you guys? Like, what are your plans? Like, do they include swimming, you know, after Florida State? What, you know, like what did you guys like? What are you guys studying? What's going on like in the next couple of years for you guys?
Sam's got to sell himself real quick.
Pretty much.
Besides starting the restaurant with us on the strip.
Yeah, obviously, kebab shop comes first, swimming second, right? Basically, with my eligibility, I've got 1 year Division 1, so I've still got a year left at Division 2. I'm looking around at the minute for potential schools that I want to go to, and just do the same thing I did here, like another 1 year master's program. See if there's anything that sort of fits the bill and teams that I think will be really good. So I've reached out to a few. And my immediate plans are to 100% stay in America. Like, I couldn't imagine swimming back home. I mean, I love my team back home. The city of Sheffield, they're amazing. And I've been with them for like 17 years. But sometimes you just need a change, and America was that change, and it's crazy. Like, I wouldn't look back now. So I definitely do want to stay in America. And then after next year, don't know, I might have to get a green card. We'll have to see.
Get married.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how well this kebab shop goes. But yeah, I would love to stay. I mean, I would like to turn pro in America. I want to make the ISL team, which is the International Swimming League. There's quite a lot of money in that at the minute. You know, it was backed by a Russian billionaire, and it still is, I think. Yeah. But basically, there's a lot of money in it, and if I'm that, I'd be able to turn pro and still live in America, sort of thing, and just join a pro club. And I'd love that, because that'd fit in really well for 2024 Paris. After that, unless I don't know, like win gold or something, I am not swimming. Goggles and cap are getting hung up, and I'm off. I'm gonna kebab shop.
Yeah, I plan to. So I swim for the Irish national team. My dad's Irish, so to get that was kind of that way onto that team. And I just started swimming for them. I just got selected for the Irish national team this year. Awesome. So then there's a couple of meets. There'll be Worlds this summer, Europeans this summer, but just sort of trying to get myself into the professional swimming space. I've got 1 more year of eligibility after this year. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm trying to look for a good masters, maybe find another team or stay at Florida State and continue my swimming. But the plan is to go pro, make some money in swimming. Hopefully, I've got some goals for the Paris 2024. If I hit those goals and I'm making decent mullah, then I'll keep swimming, and I guess try to turn it into a profession. If not, I'll try and go the investment banking route. If you guys have anyone you want to put me in touch with from internship or something, then I would like to go that route, but I'm not too sure yet. Finance route. So yeah.
I'll just say the Florida State network is surprisingly there's a lot of connections to be made there. And as a Florida State athlete, I think you both will have a very not easy, but much simpler time than most of us who just graduate with our degrees and aren't sure what the heck we're going to do. But
we can always hook you up with fried chicken if needed. If nothing else,
we'll get you fried chicken. I'm sorry, we will not give you coleslaw for your pizza. We will not do that. I will not approve that expense. But the last question I wanted to ask you guys before TJ closes out here is, have you been able to go to a Florida State football game? And what was your experience like if you have? Because TJ and I grew up like in the 90s. We're old men at this point, guys. But we grew up in the 90s watching these Florida State games. I got to go to plenty. TJ's been to plenty at Doak Campbell Stadium. Have you been to any? And what's that experience like? Maybe compared to a football match over the across the podcast as we're titling this show.
Incredible, honestly, the best experience ever. Like I've literally got my first game ticket and I've still got it. I'm not losing that. That's staying with me forever because I walked in and I was just like, dude, I'm so foreign. And it was amazing. I was watching American football and it makes so much more sense when you see it in person. Like my dad always just put it on the TV back home and I'd be like, all right, what's going on? And he'd like tell me every single play, like what was happening. And then I came here and I watched it and just clicked. And I was like, this is like amazing. Like the atmosphere, it's such a like family friendly atmosphere.
It's also very different because obviously in England the main sport is football. You got rugby. You got our national arena was Wembley. I think it's like 120,000 maybe the max capacity. Yeah. You've got Florida State, which is a university in Tallahassee, which is I don't know what 75, 80,000 seat stadium, something like that.
Yep.
But the thing about it is that you've got alumni there. You've got people who have been through FSU, so like the support is way more intense, I think, because you're part of that team sort of thing. Whereas at home, like, I don't know anyone on the Arsenal team from Adam and Eve, so you support them, but you're not really affiliated with them, you know what I mean? Right. So it's like that. And then I remember sending my mum the video of the first football game I went to when I was a freshman. And I'm not the biggest football fan, I'm not going to lie, guys, but the stadium and like the atmosphere is just second to none. I sent it to my mates from home and they're just like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, no, it never, and I'll tell you, like Richie said it, we've been going to games for years and years and years. Massive fans, but it never really gets old, right? Like, I don't know if you guys were at the Notre Dame game or the Miami game or whatever, like when the big games happen and that stadium is packed and there's 80,000 people screaming and fireworks are going, like, I mean, it just never gets old. Like it's always really, really neat. I'll ask this and we'll get out of here. Have you guys, I know you're busy with, your competitions and practice and meets and everything else, but outside of football, are there any sports that you've gotten a chance to kind of go to some of their matches or games and that you really, really enjoy seeing? Obviously, soccer is really, really good. Baseball, softball have good seats. Soccer just won, football as you guys call it, but soccer just won it all this year. The tennis teams are both ranked, but are there any games that you guys really like going to outside of football? That's a big one.
Beach volleyball, right?
Beach volleyball, absolutely. You can say it.
They're amazing too.
Yeah, they're great.
Shit, they just throw me under the bus.
No, I like the tennis.
But I did want to go watch some of the soccer games. Oh, that sounds so wrong. The football games.
Yeah, sorry.
But I had my classes are like awful. I have them like 5:30 till 8:30. So that was.
You just gotta watch on your phone while you're logged into class. I didn't say that. Don't get me in trouble.
I'm going to blame that. The TJ.
TJ said I could do this.
But yeah, I watched a couple of the tennis games. Like I was walking to class yesterday and I saw the women's tennis game that I think was against UNF.
Yep.
And that was cool. I'd love to watch more of them. So I definitely want to watch a lot more, but sometimes it sort of conflicts with practice or class schedule for me. Sure. I haven't seen too much yet, but I definitely want to go watch a basketball game. I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, the basketball's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
But I definitely want to go watch tennis. And I've got a friend on the golf team, so I'd love to go and watch one of them if there is one.
All right. You got loads of friends.
Well, I want to know because I'm actually
been here 1 year
golf fan as well.
He's a golf man.
Yeah, I do play off an 18 handicap if I say so myself.
18. I'm about a 14, so not much better at all.
True though.
Well, no, it's definitely tee to green, amazing, and then I put. It's like drive for show, put for dough, or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know what my dad
Exactly.
The college tennis really is spectacular. Just like really, really exciting. Just because there's like
intense.
6 games going on at the same time.
So different. It's so interesting.
So I grew up kind of watching. I mean, you guys certainly did, but like Wimbledon was like my first love, and I loved Roger Federer. Like he has always been my hero. And then like I go to a women's tennis match in college, and I'm just like, there's 6 at once. Like it
I was
never.
saying that to Sam the other day. It's like you have to win. Like you might have the best person on your team versus the best person on their team, but you have to win all the different games.
Yeah, you got to win a bunch down the line. And the one I went to a couple of weeks ago, it literally went to the last point. Like it was 3-3, and then it was just our girl and their girl on the last court, and we ended up winning. But yeah, those tennis matches, they get intense. I mean, they're a lot of fun. So,
what's your favorite?
What?
Game to watch. What's your favorite one again?
Tennis.
Tennis?
I like tennis.
I like tennis. I'm coming up in 2 weeks for baseball and tennis. So we'll meet at the tennis courts. We'll go watch it. I think they play on a Friday night against Clemson. So, all right, cool.
Going as well.
We could
say what?
We can get some color commentary going as well. If you
want.
There we go.
Fantastic. Yeah.
TJ, you need to go live with Sam and Max.
Yeah, we'll do it
from the Double Fries account. That'd be perfect.
I'm down with it. Cool. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Sam, absolutely. Max, best of luck in the ACCs coming up next week. You got to get to Guthrie's, Sam, at some point. Probably after ACC. Well, after the NCAAs, like after everything. Like don't go before. That's not the best training field.
Unless you're celebrating an ACC championship, then go to Guthrie's at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It'll be worth it.
Otherwise, thank you guys so much for your time, and thanks for hanging out. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you.
So we will be back on Sunday. Appreciate Sam, appreciate Max for hanging out. We'll be back on Sunday, and we'll talk to you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Go Noles.
Go Noles.